APC bigwigs declare interest to run for presidency come 2023 elections. Umahi tells Ohanaeze Ndigbo to keep calm over zoning of presidential seat to southeast. And former Oyo Governor Christopher Alao Akala dies at 71. Glad to have you join us on News Now. I am Mary Kanu. The Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi has lent his voice to recent calls to zone the seat of the president to the southeastern part of the country. The governor made this known when he visited President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja on Tuesday. Umahi, who disclosed his interest to run for president in the upcoming 2023 general elections, said agitations for secession in the southeast should be replaced with negotiation. Our correspondent Folashade Ogunrinje tells us more in this report.
After a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja, Governor Dave Umahi's declaration of interest in the presidential seat come 2023 made him the second member of the All Progressives Congress to announce plans to become president. But the Ebonyi State Governor, who defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC), said his ambition is based on his current record in Ebonyi State.
Without prejudice to whatever will be the decision of the party, which we shall all abide by, that if the party throws the ticket open or the zone to southern part of Nigeria, that I believe that with what I put in place in the past 6 years plus, that I will be running for presidency on the platform of APC. So I told him, and of course, he believes that whoever that wants to run for president of this country must have to consult widely and go to all the leaders, and that we must do everything to remove ethnicity and our religion in our politics.
For a while now, the issue of zoning has dominated major political discourse in the country, while an apex socio-cultural group in Nigeria, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, has made calls for zoning of the presidency to the southeast. The Ebonyi State Governor says fair democratic process must be followed.
Ohanaeze leadership should not play politics. Yes, they can speak for the interest of southeast. They can speak for fair treatment to southeast as a people, but as a matter of equity, justice, and fairness, and leaving a level playing field for all the political parties and the aspirants, they should not dabble into politics or whom to support, whom not to support. I think they will hear it just like they heard other political parties, aspirants. We also write them to notify them that, yes, they have capable sons and daughters that, if God wills, could do this job.
The southeast in recent years has become the hotbed for unrest and criminality, allegedly perpetrated by members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, who are agitating for separation from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But for Governor Umahi, negotiation with the federal government rather than agitation is a solution to these issues.
There's always what is called out-of-court settlement. But it's for our people and our brother Kanu to be willing, for us to truly engage so that we can find true peace in our region, because the activities there, have destroyed a lot of the economy of Southeast. A lot of lives have been lost. And when we were shouting it that it wasn't going to benefit, because agitation shouldn't have gone that way it did. Today, the matter has gone beyond them. Every criminal, kidnappers, armed robbers tend to claim that IPOB, and IPOB in turn is fighting them. But I think it's late. So we desire peace. We desire to save the lives of our people. And so we are willing to engage.
The race to the 2023 elections, as well as who gets the APC ticket, gets more competitive by the day. Besides the APC national leader, Bola Tinubu, Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, as well as the former Abia State Governor and Chief Whip of the Senate, Senator Orji Kalu, has also declared interest in the presidential seat. While the mode for primary elections have not yet been determined in the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, it is a wait-and-see situation for now. Folashade Ogrinde, TV360 News.
The declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Orji Kalu and David Umahi, who are all members of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, brings an interesting curve to the presidential race in 2023. While the mode of selecting who will fly the party's flag is still uncertain, the details of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill might play a big role in shaping the party's political race in the election year. Well, joining me now to discuss this further is Nelson Ekujimi, a public affairs analyst. Now, thank you very much for joining me on News Now. Now, at this moment now, what do you make of the recent declaration of interest for the presidential race in 2023?
Well, I think Happy New Year first and foremost. I think it's a welcome development. It's a move that must be encouraged by all Nigerians, that persons within any ambition should be allowed to exercise it within the confines of the law. And it's a welcome development that we have seen members of this party, at least about three members from that party, APC or Progressive Congress, to signify their intention to be the flag bearer for them, to go out there and ensure that they rally around whether the party is going to adopt the direct primary or direct election or indirect or consensus, that they emerge as the party's flag bearer. But don't forget, the INEC timetable is not yet out. The days go by. We expect other persons within the party to also come out and signify their.
All right. Now, it is still unclear how flag bearers will be chosen, but irrespective of the mode opted for in the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, how do you see this playing out?
Well, the electoral bill has not yet become a law. Don't forget that the Mr. President, refused to assent to the bill because there was this clause that makes the mode of choosing party primaries that it should only be direct election to the National Assembly because of some, noted observations, and also making the direct primary, the direct election, the sole criteria for choosing parties candidates, during their primaries. It's also undemocratic. It does not give even the party members the freedom of choice, to decide how they want to run their affairs, which some of us have described as an intrusion into internal democracy within the political parties. But be that as it may, we expect that the National Assembly will do the needful with regards to the observations of Mr. President and return that bill as quickly as possible to Mr. President so that the parties will have the choice of either going through direct, indirect elections or consensus. It is the internal affairs of the political parties. The National Assembly must not be to infringe on the rights of a political party to decide how it wants to conduct its affairs.
All right, Nelson Ekujimi, public affairs analyst, thank you for joining us on the news and your contributions. And still in politics, the APC Support Group, under the aegis of Governor Yahaya Bello to President Yahaya Bello, has reiterated its support for the Kogi State Governor. The group made this known during a press statement in Abuja. Coincided the choice of Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State, Director General of the group Oladele Niyi explained that the successes recorded in combating insecurity in Kogi State, his zero tolerance to financial cruelty, are suggestive of his quality.
We are therefore still calling on our principal, Nigeria's youth role model, and the ambassador of Nigerian youth in governance, are most qualified by his antecedents and by his antecedent in person of His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello, to roar as loud as possible as the jungle is set for the taking. The major problem that we are faced with as a country is the problem of insecurity, and at the same time the managing our diversity, which has necessitated to a lot of people agitating to leave Nigeria, self-determination here and there. But we have seen that the governor of Kogi State has been able to manage the state, not minding his diversity, has been able to manage the religious diversity, the cultural diversity of Kogi State. So we feel that he has that capacity, and we know that he has the capacity to manage this country.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, will deliver the 52nd Convocation Lecture of the University of Lagos coming up on January 17th with a total of 12,217 students from both undergraduate and postgraduate studies graduating. The Vice-Chancellor of Unilag, Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, gave the hint on Tuesday at a pre-convocation press conference held at the University's Senate Chamber. He said a convocation ceremony for the 2019 and 2020 graduating set would feature awards of first degrees, diplomas, certificates and prizes to graduating students across departments. Given statistics, he said a total of 7,799 would graduate with first degrees and 238 of them with first-class honor.
A total of 12,217 graduating students will receive their degrees, diploma, and certificates. Out of these, 7,799 will receive first degrees or diploma, while 4,418 will receive postgraduate degrees. In the first degree category, 238 we obtain first-class honors, with the Faculty of Engineering leading with 63 first-class graduating students. From the faculties of Pharmacy, Basic Medical Sciences, and Clinical Sciences, 36 students graduated with distinctions. 17 of these students are from the Faculty of Pharmacy. Of the 4,418 postgraduate students, 145 will be awarded Doctor of Philosophy, PhD. And I think out of this, we have somebody that is 68 years old.
Well, we'll take a break here and return with more stories. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of our top story tonight. The Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi has lent his voice to recent calls to zone the seat of the president to the southeastern part of the country. The governor made this known when he visited President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja on Tuesday. Umahi, who disclosed his interest to run for president in the upcoming 2023 general elections, said agitations for secession in the southeast should be replaced with negotiation. Well, in case you miss any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google+ at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Nigeria has recorded one additional fatality from the coronavirus pandemic, with 422 new cases confirmed across 14 states and the Federal Capital Territory. This was contained in an update by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) on Wednesday. With the confirmed deaths, Nigeria's fatality toll now stands at 3,086. According to the health agency, Rivers State topped the infection chart with 178 cases, followed by Kwara and the FCT with 87 and 57 cases respectively, raising the country's infection toll to 249,154. And Indonesia opened its coronavirus booster campaign to the public on Wednesday as the country records rising infections driven by the Omicron variant. The decision to make the majority of Indonesia's 270 million inhabitants pay for the boosters out of their own pockets has fueled controversy. However, the government is yet to confirm how much the vaccine booster shots will cost. Indonesia, the world's fourth most populous country with more than 270 million people, has struggled to procure enough vaccines for its residents since the onset of the pandemic. Well, we'll take a break and return with business stories. Stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
That was a very good business. Yeah. The furniture you brought was very perfect.
That's how we roll.
Let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much of it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I don't do business like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for someone that understand business.
Take.
Your loss.
It is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die.
No,
You will die.
That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people. Make no really add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Up next is business news and stock market review with Simisola Adigun. Over to you, Simisola.
Thank you, Mary. In business, the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) has introduced new trips to the Lagos-Ibadan train service schedule. According to a notice released by the corporation, the new trips were for Friday and Saturday train schedules. This means that passengers can now travel to Ibadan on Friday at the train station by 8 a.m., 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. While on Saturday, the train movement will depart at 8 p.m., 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. Meanwhile, the Lagos-Ibadan train schedule for Monday to Thursday, including Sunday, remains intact with 8 p.m. and 4 p.m. trips. Welcome to Stock Markets Report. Nigerian stocks ended bullish today, rising 1% towards a near 4-year high after the biggest listed company, Dangote Cement, announced plans to repurchase 10% of its share capital in a number of tranches next week. Regarding the performance of NGX market indices, the benchmark all-share index inched up 1.71% to close at 44,608 basis points, with current market capitalization standing at 24 trillion naira. In the aggregate, 108 equities participated in trading, ending with 24 gainers and 15 losers. Academy Press and Jais Bank led the gainers list to close at 1 naira 32 kobo. On the losing side, Regalins led the group, followed by Chi PLC with a 1 naira 5 kobo loss. At the end of today's trading session, a total of 266 million volume of shares valued at 3,822 naira exchanged hands in 4,502 2 deals. Now the selected foreign stocks, FTSE, Dow Jones and Nikkei, all had a positive trading day, ending in the greens. U.S. Dow Jones market strength is a continuation of Tuesday's rally, one that was spurred by Federal Reserve's Chairman Jerome Powell's confidence in the country's economy, even as the central bank would act to curb high inflation. For the UK's FTSE, miners led the market index higher by 0.87%, bringing the market to its highest level since early February 2020. Japan's Nikkei stocks bounced back today, tracking overnight gains on Wall Street as investors brought back a wide range of issues from marine transportation and insurance. That's all on Stock Market Report. Back to you, Mary.
Well, thank you for that update, Timisola. And on the global scene, Russia and China have blocked the United Nations Security Council from supporting a decision by the West African Economic Bloc, ECOWAS, to impose new sanctions on Mali. This comes after its military leaders proposed staying in power for up to 5 years before staging elections. On Sunday, leaders from ECOWAS suspended most commerce and financial aid to Mali and closed land and air borders. Meanwhile, Algeria's presidency, which shares a long border with Mali, also called on the military to negotiate with ECOWAS and reach a plan to end the crisis. And now in sports, the Group D opening match of the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations took place on Tuesday as the Super Eagles of Nigeria squared up against the Pharaohs of Egypt. Tuesday's group game between Nigeria and Egypt was the 18th meeting between both sides as three-time African winners, the Super Eagles, defeated Egypt by a lone goal at the Stadium de Adja Garau in Cameroon. But details in this next report.
The 2021 Africa Cup of Nations tournament kicked off on Sunday, with 24 African countries competing to end the title of Champions of Africa. With 7 games played since the start of the competition, the much-awaited game between record-breaking 7-time African winners Egypt and the Super Eagles took place as the dominance and zeal shown by the Eagles paid off as Leicester City's Iheanacho scored the only goal in the game to make the team top of Group D. Recording victory over the Pharaohs at the AFCON in over 30 years, the Super Eagles also broke Egypt's 16 group matches unbeaten record. Victory by Nigeria at the opening games gives fans hope to believe that the team can make the nation proud.
I can bet it with you that we are picking that cup. Forget about the top players may have in other teams. Our boys are equally up to the task. We have the team, we have the coach, we have the keeper, we have our Iheanacho in the team, and many more of them. So we are winning the cup.
My prediction right from the day General was sacked was that we are lifting that cup. So I see us taking up the cup this edition.
The way they play yesterday, although when you look at them, you know that there's Z's in them already. I believe we can lift the trophy. With what I saw yesterday, I believe.
Despite the optimism by fans, sports analyst Jide Olaniran says the team can only return champions if they remain focused and give their best performance.
In football, it is one game at a time. And so far, so good. And one other thing about a championship like this is that you have to win your game. You make sure that you win your first game. If you win your first game, it eases pressure, and from there you can begin to build on the momentum.
Nigeria, led by interim manager Augustine Eguavoen, will take on Sudan on Saturday in a continuous bid for victory as the team hopes to maintain winning ways to return with their 4th African title. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
And on that note, we call it a wrap on the news this evening. Many thanks for watching. I am Mary Kanu.